Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, I'm just going to show you one chart. And the reason why I'm going to show you this chart is that with so much doom and gloom, we have to really zoom out to be able to look at what could possibly happen in the future based on what's happened in the past. Okay, so if that sounds interesting, then put everything down, grab yourself a cup of tea, sit yourself down, eyes on the screen, and let's load up the Bitcoin vault. But before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember all my videos are for educational purposes and nothing should be taken as financial advice. So please do your wider research before you make any important investment decisions. Okay, so we're on the BLX chart on the monthly time frame, and this chart is showing you the full picture from the inception of Bitcoin back in 2010 to the current candle that we've got here in November 2022. And what we've got is this white line at the top, which is showing you the tops of the peaks of each of the previous cycles. And at the bottom, we've got all the support in each of those bear markets along the way. And we're currently here. The pink vertical lines are your halvings that we've had along the way, and this pink line here is the next halving, which is going to be anywhere around April, March 2024. And the reason why these halvings are important is because in each of these halvings, so the first cycle was within this halving, i.e. we're topped out here at the end of 2013, and within the two halvings here, we've had our bull market, we've had our bear market, we've had our bottom, and then we've started the next bull run. Similarly, in between the second halving and the third halving, we've had our bull run, we've had our top, we've had our bear market, and we've had our start of the next bull run. And in this current period of halving, between the third and the fourth, we've had our bull market, we've had our tops, this time too, and we're just coming to the end of the bear market. So just based on that pattern, what do you think is going to be next? So as far as I'm concerned, and what these historical fractals tell me, is that the next bit is going to be the start of the next bull market, like we did here, like we did here, and like we did over here. See, when you zoom out, you take away all the doubt of where the market could possibly be going. Of course, in this space, anything can happen, and we've only got the charts really to make a sensible and rational prediction of what could happen in the future. So based on what I've just shown you, it looks very likely with a higher degree of probability that we're going to be moving to the upside towards the halving in March, April 2024. What's really interesting is that when we did bottom out in each of the cycles, so for instance, before the first halving here, when we bottomed out at this point, then before the halving, we made a very big rally to this point here. And between the first and the second halving, when we bottomed out here at around about 160, again, before the actual halving, next halving, we'd made a rally up to here. Similarly, in between the second and the third halving, we'd bottomed out here at 3,100, and we made a rally up to this point here. So based on the picture I've just drawn for you again, that before this halving, we can expect at least one more rally to the upside before we get to the halving. And the question is, what kind of a percentage increase can we expect between where we are now currently? And obviously we may not have bottomed out yet, but then again, we could have bottomed out to 15.5. But there is a consensus that we're going to go a bit lower, down to about 12,000. Okay, so whatever happens, it doesn't really matter, because for all intents and purposes, we've had a big fall from over here down to around these levels at the moment, around about 77%. So if you know anything about the cycles, it'll tell you that we are at the very bottom or very, very close to the bottom. What I want to do is to give you some sort of an idea of what we can expect in terms of the rally that we've got over here. 15, 16 months until we get to the halving here. And again, we need to look at the historical context, and that is that when we bottomed out over here on this candle, before the first halving to this point, which was the highest point before the halving, there was a 644% jump here. So there was a 6x move after the bottoming out before the halving. Between the first and the second halving, we can see quite clearly that from the bottom over here to the top before the halving over here, there was a 3.7x here, 372%. So call that 6x. We can call this 3.7x. The next one, from 3,100, we went all the way up to 14,000 over here, and that was a 3.4x here before the third halving. So you can see that the rallies in between these halvings slightly moved lower from 3.7 to 3.4. So even if we have a 3x from where we are and before we get to the halving in 2024, the 3x from current levels of, let's say, 15.5 would take us to around about the $60,000 mark here, which will be around about the top of this bull market that we've just had. So maybe we can expect a 3x here. So the main point of doing this exercise is that should we take a rational 14-15 month view from where we are currently, irrespective of where the market is going in the short term, this period here, what we can do is to expect some sort of a rally, at least to the upside, which would take it to around about these levels here of about 60,000 before we get to that point. Now, if I move the chart to the left a little bit, you'll see that there is another line drawn there, which is the red line. This is where I'm expecting the end of the current cycle to finish. So I've taken the 4-year cycles, and this current cycle in a 4-year cycle should finish around about the end of 2025. So the first cycle topped out at the end of 2013. The second one here topped out at the end of 2017. 4 years between the two, 4 years in between the 2 points. And this current one topped out in November 2021. So again, 4 years between that. So 4 years from November 2021 will take it to the end of 2025. So this is the point where we should really be topping out based on this historical information here of the cycles. And that point is actually at around about the $130,000 to $140,000 mark here. Obviously, a lot can change in between, but just based on the past 12 years, this is where we are expecting to go. So if we take an overall bigger picture view, it seems to me anyway to make sense that if we invest anywhere around here, and historically this has been a very good point along this line, to be investing, because usually this point is followed by a nice big move to the upside here. So this is what we can expect. So those of you with a discerning eye will have noticed that in between the halvings, we have at least one rally, and then after the halving, we have a second rally to the top of the bull market. So from where we are now currently, that would mean that we can expect at least 2 major rallies between now and the end of the next bull market. So we can have one over here, come back down, have the halving, wherever that goes to, and then that's the big move to the upside after that. Exactly like here, we had one move, came back here, and then we had the big one there. Similar things over here, we had one move over here to the halving, came back down to this point, and then had another one there. So while there is doom and gloom currently from where we are over here, we should always realize that when you're in doubt about the market, then what you need to do is to zoom out. So when in doubt, zoom out, and then you'll see the bigger picture developing. And when you look at the detail of exactly what's happened in the past, it helps you to map out the future of what could possibly happen with a high degree of probability. And please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts when I do these charts. It helps me to make up my decisions based on a longer term time frame, knowing that if we invested over here, I know that between now and the end of 2025, I'm going to be part of 2 major rallies. And as long as I'm in the market, then I know that hopefully at this point here, at the end of 2025, I will be in the money here. Okay, so we'll leave it there. I hope you found value in this video. And if you did, then please do remember to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.